Hey guys, I'm Mitch Hoke. I'm out here with Glen Cratty, and we're checking out the course for the Harlow Platts course for the 2019 Shimano GRX series. And Glen here is the course designer, and he's showing me around. I'm going to ask him a couple questions. So Glen, last year we didn't have any barriers in this course. Are we putting those in this year?
Yeah, definitely. One of the things about this course is the only real forced dismount for most people, though some people can ride it, is the big sand pit. You know, I think last year we had one big run through the sand pit, which kind of crisscrossed, and then there was an optional run. There's not going to be any optional this time. It's going to be one out and one back. But then after that, it's pretty much all riding. So what I want to do is kind of throw a set of barriers down in the far corner there and kind of make that a tricky dismount, probably non-drive side, make people run a little bit on the grass, you know, get into that cross spirit a little early this season.
Okay, cool. And earlier we were talking about the general flow of the course and using the natural gradient of the park. So what are you doing differently on that front this year?
Yeah, last year we sort of didn't anticipate the heavy conditions of the course, and I had maybe, well, some could argue, a little too much climbing in there. It turned into a bit of a slog. So this year I'm going more like it kind of starts like on this side of the park is the sort of high point, and then it just slopes all the way down to the low point. And I kind of maybe ran it across that a few too many times. So this year it kind of goes with the grain of the slope. You'll find yourself going generally up and then generally down the course, make it a little more flowy and fast and fun, a little less of a grind.
Okay, cool. And one thing you were also telling me earlier was last year with all that rain, they weren't able to mow the course. So you guys had intended to mow that. So this year we can expect it to be faster? Yeah,
definitely. I hope. The city of Boulder had planned on mowing on Wednesday night, and I actually was out here, and it was just a horrible downpour. So they, not only was it totally soaked with water, but they didn't even mow. So when the Cat 4 or 5 showed up at 8 o'clock to race, it was a good 6 inches of like really sloppy grass. It was pretty heavy, and I felt bad for those guys.
I remember it still being hard by the time we raced at 3 or 3:30 or whatever it was.
Yep.
Cool. So is there anything else you wanted to mention about the course?
No, I mean, other than probably of all the venues, this one was the one that needed the biggest rework from last year. And I think, I like to think that the new design has sort of done that. I just think it's going to be a lot more fun and flowy and fast.
Awesome. Well, let's go check it out.
All right. This is the stretch after the start finish where you're going to come back along the off camber here. And when you get to the top, instead of cutting right over as like you did last year, you're going to do a 180. And then sweep across the sort of base of this hill right here, and on the off camber, then head straight up back to the top of the hill. And then after that, there'll be a couple more loops kind of around the base of this hill. So whereas last year it was just basically we used this hill for 2 hard climbs, it's going to be a much more technical section. Despite it being a total grind, the course was very short. So the lap times, I think, in the P12 field, or the open field, were like 5 and change, which is too fast in my opinion. So what I did is I added about 300 meters to the course, but I think it's going to make all the difference because instead of it coming directly back, there'll be a switchback section here, and then you'll basically go from about that middle tree right there. You'll have that hole come around that tree, and then you'll have that whole space to run up and hit the sand full frontal at speed. That's the idea. And you'll live or die by how well you can ride that long length of sand, or how well you can run it if you can. Okay, so this is a section where in the second section of sand, you're gonna hit it from way back there and ride or run all the way the length of the sand. It's doable. You can stay on the bike if you have enough power and technique, but you can also run it. And the tricky part is exiting the sand here on bike or on foot. You're then gonna have to take a sharp left-hander back up and over this sort of sandy hill down into near the swamp, and then back around and out to the other side of the venue again. Hitch before the start finish is coming all the way up from where you left off the last section. A nice sweeping arcing turn to the back side of the front side of this hill. You're then going to hit a very tight 180. Goes basically, it's off camber to off camber, up over the berm, further along, over again, gain a bit of speed and take a left turn around that tree, heading toward the start finish. So in my wildest dreams, I see 2 racers, duking it out all race, coming to the line together, and this is the last chance for them to elbow it out for the victory.
Okay guys, thanks for watching. Hope you guys have a great race. If you had any doubts about coming out to the race this year, we're hoping that it's going to be a lot better. Make sure you check the weather, and because that'll make a big difference if they get to mow the grass or not. It'll be a lot faster than last year. And one thing the Without Limits guys in the city of Boulder really wanted to stress is we can't have people doing any pre-riding here. So hopefully this gets you all the course info that you need to know. And yeah, have a great race.